Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for today's at-home full body Pilates workout. Today we're not going to be using any equipment. We're going to sculpt our abs, arms, upper backs, glutes, and thighs. So get ready for a great sculpting workout. We're going to start off with a bit of a warm-up so that we can mobilize the spine. If you aren't already, please cross your legs. And I'm going to turn and face in this direction. You can stay facing me just so you can see what I'm doing from this side view. I'm going to reach my hands up toward the ceiling. We want to make sure that each individual vertebra is stacked one on top of the other. The spine is nice and long and we're lengthened up through the crown of the head. From here, we're going to take a deep inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to lower the chin to the chest and then slowly start to round the upper body forward, bringing the fingertips down onto the floor. Deep inhale here and exhale. Slowly start to round up through the spine, restacking the vertebra. Chin lifts last as we reach those fingertips toward the ceiling. Nicely done. Inhale. And exhale, chin to chest and start rounding forward. Tapping fingertips to the mat, scooping belly in as we inhale. And then exhale, pull the belly to the spine and roll up. Chin lifts last, reach up through those fingertips. Two more like this. Rounding forward. Deep inhale and exhale, pull belly to spine and restack your vertebra, lifting your chin. Last one, inhale and exhale. Fold over, reach through those fingertips and amazing work. Now from here, we're going to bring our hands, I'll just turn so you can see a little bit better. Hands interlaced behind the head. We're not pushing the head forward. The head is on top of the shoulders. We're going to inhale here, keeping the hips evenly weighted. And as we exhale, we're going to twist to the right, looking toward that right elbow with that right eye. And then back to center, switching sides. Over to the left. Good. Keep your spine nice and tall here. Again, those hips are evenly weighted as we rotate around the spine. Keeping that chin parallel with the floor, moving from side to side on the exhale. Nice work, keep that chest nice and open. And we've got 3, and 2, and last one each side. Twist as much as you can. Back to center, and then twist as much as you can to the opposite side, back to center. Amazing work. Now we're going to move into some side bends here. So again, we're really lengthening up through those fingertips. We're going to lower the right arm to the floor and reach with that left hand over the head. Back up, arms are straight. And bend that right elbow as we fold over. Back up and fold. Reach a bit further, keeping that left hip down. Keeping both bum cheeks down on the mat. Reach. And last one. Reach, reach, reach. And hold for 3 and 2 and 1. Back to center. Switch the arms. Inhale. And exhale, fold over and reach, and lift up tall. Fold over, reach and stretch, and lift. Reminding myself here to bend that left elbow as well, so we can get an even deeper fold. Good, 2 more. Nice work. And last one, we're going to come over and hold, reaching and stretching, lengthening through that side body, and back to center. Relax your arms down. Amazing work. Now we're going to move down onto the mat. Use your hands to help you. Step your feet out behind you into plank and then lower, softening the chest down onto the mat. From here, we're going to stretch our arms out nice and long. Legs come about mat distance apart or shoulder distance apart if that's more comfortable. From here, we're going to inhale. And as we exhale, we're just going to sweep the right arm back, looking out over right shoulder, and then bring it back down. Same thing, left side. Sweep the arm back, and then bring the palm down to the floor. Alternating sides. Good. Reach and stretch, opening up in that shoulder. Good. Really lengthen through those fingertips. Stretch the neck as you look back at those fingertips. Good. We've got 5. Reach, lift a little bit higher. For 4, peel that chest up off the floor. And 3, sweep the arm back. For 2. And last 1. And bring it back down. Nice work. Now we're going to go into some pullbacks and we're going to add some leg lifts. So it looks like this. Arms are outstretched. We're going to lift, hover the chest, pull the elbows back, drawing the shoulder blades together. Then come forward, lower, lift your right leg, squeeze the glutes and the thighs. Lift your left leg, squeeze the glutes and the thighs. And then repeat. Lift, pull back, knitting the shoulder blades together, come forward, lower down, lift leg and lower, lift leg and lower, repeat. Really draw those shoulder blades together as you pull the elbows back and really squeeze the glutes and the thighs, keeping the legs really straight as you lift and lower. Peel your chest up off the floor, hover, and then lower with control. Good, keeping your gaze down on the mat the entire time. We want that neck nice and long and in line with the spine. 1 and 2. Lift and pull back. Nice work. We've got 3 more sets. And lift and pull back. Good. Really give it a lot of energy. Contracting those muscles on the lifts. Last set. 1, 2. Pull it back. 4, 3. And lower down. Amazing work. Now from here, we're going to lift our arms and our chest up off the mat like so. Inhale and exhale to lift. Then we're lowering with control, and then we're lifting both legs, squeezing the bum muscles, and then lowering. Good. Lift just the upper body, abs in to lower, and then lift the lower body, legs come up. So alternating between the upper body and the lower body here. Be sure that as you lift your legs, you're lengthening through the spine, and you're squeezing the glutes and the thighs to get that lift rather than straining the low back. So only lift up as high as you can with good form and without that compression in the lower spine. Good. Nice work. We've got 2 and 1. Relax it down. Nice work. Now we're going to lift arms and legs together at the same time for a hold. If that's too much, and if you're losing good form, I'd like you to just keep alternating between the arms and the legs. So if you're coming up for the double hold, we're inhaling here and we're exhaling, lengthening the fingertips, lengthening through those legs, and then lowering belly to spine. Inhale and exhale. And then pick your belly button up off the floor as you lower to work the core at the same time. Good. Nice work. Elevate up, hold, and then lower with control. So kind of float back down to the mat. Don't just sort of collapse down. Good. Working the upper body, working the lower body. Nice work. Now we're going to come up in 3, in 2, And in 1 for a hold. Hold, hold, hold for 5, 4, 3, lift a bit higher, 2, and 1. Bring your hands by your side. Lower your feet down to the mat. And take your knees nice and wide. Push your hips back towards your heels, lengthening and stretching through that spine. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale and exhale. Nice work. Now from here, we're going to get into a plank position. You have 2 options here. You can either come up into your high plank like so, palms on the floor, or you can come up into a low plank with your elbows below your shoulders. I'm going to come up into my high plank, positioning the wrists so that they're below the shoulders, stepping those heels out behind so the legs are straight, creating a nice flat line with the body. Lift your abdominal wall. Now from here, we're gonna lower the right knee down to the mat, lower the left knee down to the mat, lift both knees into plank and hold. Then we're lowering the left knee, lowering the right knee, come up into plank and hold. Good, alternating sides, right knee comes down, left knee comes down, both knees come up, high plank or low plank. Left knee, right knee, belly to spine into your plank, right knee, left knee, belly to spine, hold in plank, left, right, lift and hold, right, left, lift and hold. Keep your belly plugged in, particularly as you lift up into that full plank. Nice work, nice control. Make sure that you don't lean back. So some people have a tendency to come back when they're doing their plank. You want to keep those shoulders above the wrists. That's how you're going to build strength. Good. Nice work. Last set. One knee down, the other knee down, both knees up, and hold for 3, 2, and 1. Relax it down. Whew, okay, amazing. Now from here, we're gonna go into some tricep push-ups. So we're gonna keep the elbows in close toward the side of the body. Knees are down on the mat. We're gonna lower the chest between the hands and then push back up. If you're finding this really challenging, I'd like you to do a more shallow push-up. So just bend the elbows like so and then push up through the heels of your hands. You don't need to come all the way down if you don't have the strength to push yourself up with good form. Good, you can build up to that. Now make sure that your weight is in the heels of your hands. You're switching the backs of the arms on. Your neck stays nice and long and your shoulders are down away from your ears. We've got 2 more. And last one. Nicely done. Come into a kneeling position. And from here, we're just gonna sweep the arms back, drawing a nice big circle in the air on either side of the body. Good, we'll take 2 more. That feels nice. Okay, from here we're going to go into another form of tricep exercise. This time you have 2 different options in terms of level of challenge. So you can either go into your full tricep push-ups, tricep dips, by turning your fingertips down towards your heels, lifting into reverse tabletop, lowering and lifting, lowering and lifting. If you would like an easier version, keep your bum down on the floor, bend your elbows. You might need to take your hands a bit wider. Bend your elbows and push up through the heels of your hands. So that's a variation of this exercise that's easier but still effective on those triceps. So either bum down on the floor or bum elevated. We're pushing up through the heels of the hands for 10. We've got 6 and 5, belly to spine, for 4, working the backs of the arms, and 3 and 2, push up, and last one, lift, stretch both legs out long, lower your bum, lift your arms to the ceiling and fold over the lower body. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale and exhale. Amazing work. Now we're going to get into our ab routine. So I'd like you to slowly lower down. Use your hands to help you if you need, bringing your head down onto the mat. From here, we're going to interlace our fingers, take them behind our heads, and we're just going to start off with some simple traditional crunches. So the legs are hip distance apart. Spine is in neutral, head rests heavy in the hands. We're inhaling here, and we're exhaling, peeling up into a crunch. Lowering and lifting. Inhale to lower, exhale, lift. And as you lift up, I want you to press your low back into the mat and contract your abdominal wall down toward your spine. Keep those elbows nice and wide. Good. Breathing out to lift. We've got 4, lift a bit higher, and 3, nice work, for 2, and last 1, and lower. Now you can carry on with that style of crunch, or you can step up the level of intensity for these next 10. We're going to bring the legs into tabletop for each crunch. So we're inhaling, and we're exhaling, legs come to tabletop, knees over hips, and then we lower them down, feet down to the floor. And then exhale, legs into tabletop, and lower. So don't bring those knees in past the hips. Your knees are hovering over the hips, shins parallel with the floor, and then we soften the feet down. Good. We've got 5 more. Breathe out to lift and lower. For 4, abs in and lower. Last 3, lift a bit higher through those shoulders. And 2, keep those elbows nice and wide. And last 1, and relax it down. Nice work. Now from here, keeping the hands where they are, we're going to outstretch the right leg. We're going to lift the right leg, lower the right leg, and then bring the left elbow toward the right knee. Extend, just hover the leg up off the floor. Lift, lower, bend, cross over. Lift, lower, bend, cross over. So even as you're crossing over, you're keeping your low back in contact with the mat. You're just lifting that left shoulder blade up off the floor. Now, if you want to step up the level of intensity for this one, I'd like you to keep your head, neck, and shoulders elevated as you lift and lower that right leg. Now, make sure that right leg is nice and strong. The toe is really pointed, the toes are really pointed, and the muscles in that leg are engaged. Nice, straight, strong leg. Good. Lift, lower, belly to spine as we cross over, targeting those obliques. So we're working the lower abs as we lift and lower that leg, and working our obliques as we cross over. Nice work. 2 more. Last 1, lift, lower, and bring it in. Nicely done. Now we're going to switch sides. Left leg extends, lift, lower, cross over. I'm starting off with head, neck, and shoulders down. As I get into the movement, I'm really making sure I'm pointing through my left toes. Leg muscles are switched on. Now, if you're ready to step it up a little bit, keep the head, neck, and shoulders elevated between each crunch. Good. Lift, lower, cross over. Nice. Low back stays in contact with that mat as we bring right elbow to left knee. 2 more sets. Lift, lower, really pick that right shoulder blade up off the mat and cross it over. Nice work. Now from here, legs are staying hands are staying behind the head for our frog leg extensions, although you have two different options. So they can either be behind your head as you stay up in your crunch and extend long on your frog extension, or you can take them on either side of your tailbone to support your low back and keep your head, neck, and shoulders on the floor. We're widening our knees, either from our crunch position or head, neck, and shoulders down on the floor, splaying out the feet, heels glued together. We're extending the legs in a diagonal and then widening the knees as we come in. Push out through the heels and then bring the knees in, widening them. So inhale and exhale, pull your belly to your spine. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. If you're up in your crunch, it looks like this. Good. Really drive through those heels on the extension. Really pull your belly to your spine as you bring those knees in as well. Good. Inhale and exhale. If you're in your crunch, challenge yourself by picking those shoulder blades up off the mat. Nice work. We've got 3 and 2. Squeeze legs together. And last 1. Bring your feet to parallel. Lower your right leg, lower your left leg, and use your hands to help you come up into a seated position. From here, we're going to do some in and outs. So our fingers are turned toward our toes, and we don't want our elbows splaying out to the side too much. We want our hands just about mat distance apart. From here, we're going to extend the legs out long, and then we're going to bring them in toward the chest. Now, as we extend, we bend the elbows, and we're going to separate the legs about mat distance, pointing through the toes. And then as we straighten the arms and crunch in, we're bringing the legs together. Good. Widen those legs and then crunch it in. Widen the legs, point through the toes, and crunch it in as you straighten those arms and lift up. Nice work. Hold strong as you extend out long. Really use your core strength to bring the legs back in as well as extend them out long. We've got 5, 4, nice work. 3, working those abdominals. 2, abs in. Last 1, bring it in, stretch the legs out long, and we're gonna go into another forward fold, lifting your arms up and folding over the lower body, enjoying the stretch. Take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, pull your belly in toward your spine, creating more space so you can fold over the lower body, deepening the stretch. Relax your head, relax your neck. Let your breaths travel up and down your spine. For 2 and for 1. Roll up. Nice work. Now we're going to switch positions, coming onto the side body so we can work our glutes and thighs. So we want to be nice and long on our mats. Head is supported on the hand or on the outstretched arm. We're going to place the opposite hand down on the mat for support. Pick up your feet and bring them forward so that your legs are in a pike position. From here, we're going to go into some leg lifts. So keeping that lower leg really squeezed and switched on as well for support, we're going to lift and lower that top leg. Now we're pointing through the toes of that top leg so the muscles are really switched on. And like I said, we have tension in that lower leg as well. It will help you from rocking around. If you find you are rocking around and you want more stability, you can bend that lower leg as an option. Good, lifting and lowering. Now I have a mirror behind my camera, and sometimes when I'm doing leg lifts or side lying work, I see that my shoulders are hunching up by my ears, which is why I always remind myself and remind you to relax your shoulders down by your ears, down away from your ears. Keep your neck nice and long here. We don't want a lot of tension in the upper body. Inhale and exhale. As you breathe out, plug your navel in toward your spine so that your core is switched on. Good. We've got 3 and 2 and final 1. I'd like you to pause the leg, hold the leg at shoulder height. We're gonna go into the same thing again, but this time they're gonna be half leg lifts. So we're lifting and then just lowering to shoulder height. Lift and lower to shoulder height. Good. So we're keeping the leg in the air the entire time, controlling it down to shoulder height before lifting it back up. Again, keeping those toes on the lower leg and the top leg pointed. Good. Lift and lower. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold the leg at shoulder height. Now we're going to pulse that top leg up. Little controlled pulses. Keep the toes pointed. Keep the leg nice and long and straight. Little pulses here. Working those thighs, working those glutes. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Relax the leg down. Amazing. Now we're going to come up into an all fours position, and that was my left leg I was working that was on the top. We're going to continue working the same side. So I'm going to drop my right forearm down to the mat, and then I'm going to extend that left leg out long in a diagonal. So if it's your right side, make sure that right leg is extended. From here, I'm going to flex the foot, pulling the toes toward the shin. Tap the toes down and lift on a diagonal and lift. Good. Really keep the spine nice and long here. Neck nice and long. Good. Lift through that heel. Squeeze that side booty at the top of the lift. Keep the toes pulled back toward the shin. Good. Leading up with that heel, we've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to hold the leg at hip height and now do half lifts. So we're lifting up and then pausing at hip height. So we're elevating that leg and lowering. Keep the leg out in a diagonal. Good. Leading up with that heel, toes pointing down toward the floor. Ooh, these half lifts are challenging. Good, breathe through it. Keep your navel plugged in toward your spine. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Hold, little pulses here. Little quick pulses. Out to the side. Foot is flexed. Keep it up. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Lower the foot down. Come into an all fours position. Keep that working leg extended. If you prefer, come down onto your forearms if your wrists need a bit of a break. Now from here, we're squaring our hips with the mat, bending that left knee or your working leg, and then lifting. Tap the knee and lift the leg. Tap and lift. Make sure your shoulders are nice and broad here. You're pushing the mat away from you up through the heels of your hands if you're on all fours, or up through your elbows if you're down on your forearms. Nice. Lift and lower. Lifting that big toe up toward the ceiling and then gently tapping knee down to the mat. We've got 6, 5. Squeeze that booty at the top of the lift. 2, and 1. Hold the leg at torso height and pulse. Little pointed toe pulses up toward the ceiling. Squeeze those glutes. Breathe through it. We've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold, lift an inch higher, relax down, step both legs out, so you're in a plank, and then fold that working leg under the body. Coming into pigeon pose. Breathing deeply here. Folding over the lower body if that feels comfortable. Nicely done. Relax those shoulders. Open up in the hip. And regulate the breath for 3 and 2 and 1. Nice work. I'd like you to come over onto your opposite side. So now I've got my right leg on top. Legs are nice and straight and elongated. We're lifting the legs and coming out into the pike. Switching the thighs on both sets of legs, both legs, and then lifting and lowering. Lifting and lowering. So starting off nice and smooth, opening in the hip, lengthening out through that big toe. We're mobilizing the hips. Nice work. And as you start to get into the movement, we can step up the energy a little bit, make sure that we are really flexing the leg muscles, lengthening and lifting the leg as much as possible whilst keeping the torso still and stable. So we're really plugging the navel in toward the spine. Good. Shoulders relaxed. Nice work. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause at shoulder height, half lifts. Good. Breathe out to lift. These are tough. We're working all the muscles in the leg, working those hips and glutes. Good. Lift, lift. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold and pulse. Really squeeze that lower leg so you've got a lot of stability as you pulse. Good. Little controlled pulses with that pointed toe. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax it down. Nice work. Now, coming into our all fours position, dropping the opposite side's forearm down to the floor, extending out on a diagonal with that working leg, flexing the foot. Full leg lifts, tapping the toe down to the floor, the big toe down to the floor, and then leading up with that heel for the lift. Make sure you're really out on a diagonal so that you're working that side booty area. Keeping the leg long, lengthening out from that hip all the way down the leg and out through that heel. Good. We've got 5, 4, 3, lift your abs, 2, and 1. Now we're doing our half lifts. So lifting from torso height. Again, keeping that upper body really stable, that neck nice and long, and core engaged. Keep that flex nice and strong. Pull those toes back toward the shin. It will help you to lengthen out your leg fully. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold for your pulses. Little controlled pulses. Nice work. Pumping that heel up toward the ceiling. We've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, I'm shaking. Lower down. Amazing work. Coming onto your forearms or your palms. Bending that knee and lifting. Lifting without arching your low back. So keeping your torso really stable. Lift your abdominal wall. As the knee comes up and down, I want you to make sure that your belly is plugged in. As though you were trying to poke a hole in the ceiling with that big toe. Squeezing those glutes as you lift that leg. Good. Again, make sure you're not collapsed like so between the shoulders. You want to be nice and broad. Pushing that mat away. Good. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Hold it there. Pulses. Abs are engaged. Knee is at torso height. Toe is pointed. Big toe elevating toward the ceiling for every pulse. Woo, glutes on fire. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Step your left leg back, step your right leg back, and fold that working leg under your body for pigeon pose. You can be up like this, or you can fold over. Ooh, feels tight on that side. This stretch is absolutely needed. Take a couple of deep breaths here and appreciate the fact that our workout is over. We just have a couple of stretches to do. And you did amazingly well for making it this far. It was tough, but really beneficial. Nice work. From here, we're gonna bring both knees down onto the floor. And now we're gonna step the left foot between the hands. We're gonna interlace the hands, take them on the left thigh, just stretching that right leg back. Leg is straight out behind you. And then we're just gonna gently sink into the stretch, just sort of pushing that right hip forward so we can feel that stretch in the hip flexor. Spine is nice and tall, shoulders are down, neck is long, chin is parallel with the floor. Sink a little bit more deeply into it for 3, and 2, and 1. Hands come down onto the mat, right foot comes forward. Make sure that back leg is nice and straight behind you. As we interlace the fingers, placing them on the right thigh and gently pushing that left hip forward. Relax into this stretch. Melt into it a little bit more deeply. For 3, and 2, and 1. Bring both hands down on the mat, bring both knees down, take the knees wide, big toes come together, keep the hips elevated, and soften your forehead down onto the mat, stretching and lengthening through the spine, drawing the armpits down toward the floor, lengthening out through that tailbone. Take a couple of deep breaths here. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Last breath. Exhale to come up to a kneeling position. You can turn so that you're facing me. And we did it. We're done. Let's lift those shoulders up by the ears and roll them down and back. Let's take 2 more just because it feels so good to melt away any additional tension in those shoulders. And we are done. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that routine. I hope you felt it in the abs, arms, glutes, and thighs. I know I did, and I really look forward to working out with you again next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.